Well, hey everybody, welcome back to The Able Gardener, and I'm out today picking peaches. We're having the Peach Festival this week in the next town, our sister city. They're going to have a lot of things, different things made out of peaches. They're going to have peach cobbler, peach pie, peach jam, probably peach ice cream, all different kinds of things. But I'm out here picking my peaches. Most of them are just starting to turn a little bit soft. I like a peach when it's really crunchy, the same way I like my nectarines. But these that are a little bit softer, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make a peach cobbler tonight. Well, there's a couple peaches that grew right together, and they're nice and soft. Oh, and they're really juicy. This is one good peach tree. Sorry about that. Now, if you can see this guy down here, this is another of my Atlantic dill pumpkins, but it's one that didn't get as big as Polly, but I let it grow anyway until the vine died. And once the vine died, then the pill bugs took over and they finished off the rest of the vine. So I'm left with this big pumpkin, and it doesn't weigh a lot. Well, it weighs enough. Probably weighs somewhere around 20 to 25 pounds. So I don't know what I'll do with this one. I guess maybe give it to the grandkids, or I might harvest some of the seeds out of it. But since it didn't grow to be very big, I'm thinking that the genetics of this particular pumpkin aren't that great for, say, growing a giant pumpkin. I don't know, maybe the seeds in here could grow a giant pumpkin, but it just put out a little tiny baby one, and I'll save the seeds, maybe plant a few next year and see what the plants do. So we'll see, but I'm gonna roll this thing out of the way so I can get some more peaches. Now, as I'm picking these peaches, I seem to be eating more than I'm actually putting in the bowl, but they're so good. Now, if you had watched my episode on trimming this peach tree back in wintertime, it was probably, I don't know, maybe it was December or January. I'll have to look, and I'll put the episode down below. So if you want to watch me trimming this peach tree, you can click on that link and you can watch that video. So I went ahead and I got my shears and I came out here and I cut this peach tree way back, or I felt like I cut it way back. And there was a reason for that. I wanted to bring it down in height so that I didn't have to reach really high or get a ladder to pick the peaches. Plus it needed to be trimmed. So I did a pretty heavy cut, I thought, and it was a good thing that I did that, because I found out later that peaches grow on first year growth. Or in other words, once I cut it way back, the peach tree started growing stems and leaves, and the peaches form on that first year growth. So this tree was loaded. Now, I also trimmed my apricot tree way back, but apricots grow on second year growth. So I had maybe 3 apricots on my tree. Now, if I'd have known that back then, I would have just trimmed back just a little bit of the apricot tree and gone ahead and trimmed this one way back, but just trimmed a little bit of the apricot tree, and I would have had more apricots. So trimming a tree back a lot to get that first year growth, that's with peaches and nectarines. So my nectarine tree was loaded also. So I'm going to have to remember that for next year. If I trim these trees this winter, I want to trim the peach and the nectarine tree way back, and I'm going to leave my apricot tree alone and let the apricots form on that second year growth. And then hopefully my peach tree and my nectarine tree will be loaded again. I was discussing my peach tree looking so good this year, and not only being loaded with peaches, I think that was from the trimming, but I'm not trimming it today. This was for something else. But I think the amount of peaches was from the trimming, and then I think the reason the tree looked so well, and so did the peaches after they began to form, they weren't eaten on at all. And I think that was from me spraying the tree when it began to leaf out. I sprayed it with BT. And what BT is a bacteria. It's called Bacillus thuringiensis. It's just a little bacteria that when a little caterpillar comes along on your peach tree and he starts to eat some of the leaf, if he bites into a leaf that has that BT on it, that bacteria goes into its gut or into its stomach and starts killing the worm. Now it doesn't kill it right away, but it doesn't take a second bite. It's only supposed to take that first bite and then it starts dying. And I sprayed my peach tree probably once a week when it was leafing out, and then maybe once every 2 weeks after it started putting on fruit. And I think that's why the tree looks so well, and so did the peaches. They're not eaten on by any insects. Now I know that some people don't want to spray BT because of it killing beneficial insects or worms that'll turn into beneficial insects, and that's true. It will kill some other worms too. But for this particular peach tree and my nectarine tree and the apricot, I think it was okay to spray those 3 trees. I just don't think that it killed that many beneficial insects that I'm not that worried about it, that I would rather have a great harvest and a good looking tree instead of not spraying it and letting a few caterpillars live, and then I don't get a nice looking tree and a lot of, you know, really pretty non-eaten fruit. Everybody does what they want to do, and that's what I do. I will spray some BT on certain plants, certain trees, just so that I can take care of those plants and trees. Well, you guys, my bowl is full of peaches. I'm going to go in, I'm going to start that peach cobbler, and I just wanted to show you what a good, healthy trimming on a peach tree can do for your harvest. You can get a lot of peaches by cutting it way back, and I may do that again this winter. So I'm going to finish this one. It's very juicy, and I'm going to talk to you later. Bye-bye, you guys.